Okay, now I want to say hi everybody, and welcome to another talk video. In this video I want to talk about failure, and the topic is you never failed. You never failed. When did you fail? When did anybody fail? Well, we've all failed in our lives, the truth is, you may say, which is partly true. You've always made an effort in some way where you failed. If you look back on your whole life, it's a whole story of failure, man. There's so much you could have done in a day that you just didn't get done in time, right? No, there's so many things that you failed at where you didn't, put effort in trying to do things, or you always put things off till later, and you never actually got them done. There's things that you tried to do where you failed. There's things that you've done where you've tried to impress others, and things haven't gone your way. You've not been able to please others. There's things where you've just not been noticed, and there's so many things. The list goes on and on, where it's a constant journey of failure. Wow, the amount of effort you must have put in to fail. The only way you can fail is by trying. You're a person who kept trying again and again and again on some things, or maybe just once or twice for other things, but you're someone who constantly is failing, right? That's very normal. Most of us are. The reason we fail is because the world is, and so are we. So the world is, not so that we are not. We are. That is it. So the world is something around us. I can talk about waving my hands on top of the mountain and speak in some ancient language to make the clouds make rain fall to the desert, but it's not going to happen. But if it happens, I'll feel that I am a success. Sometimes that's an illusion too. But sometimes I will try to lift a heavy rock and move it from here to there, and I will be able to do it. And I'll say, I did it. That's true success. There's a true thing, you see. Success and failure in the efforts we do. And sometimes you'll take steps towards something, or you'll try to create something, and when you get it done, that's a success, because to you it's not a failure, and it's something that you wanted to get done, a goal, something that you can strive to make happen. But the thing is, again, failure is an idea in the mind. And if you say it as a negative thing, a bad thing, no. Every effort you made is in no way a failure. Whether you got your goals accomplished, or whether you took steps towards efforts in trying to get that accomplished, that was not a failure. And you may say, well, look, I wasted quite a lot of time there. Little by little, I wasted some time there, on that, an effort, and it didn't. Isn't that a failure, And I tried to impress others, but nobody cared. But whatever it is, or did something for yourself. I tried to cook that meal, but it tasted terrible. Yeah, look, you're focusing on the bad things, right? You were never a failure. You are never a failure. You can only fail if you are a failure. Someone does, someone is, so they are. They do what they do is of that. You see. You say, oh, he's a good person because he's in a police officer's outfit, uniform, whatever. No. He's a hero because of the way he dresses, and that's what he does, what he is, You're good. You are based on your mind, your heart, and your inner being and your ability. So, this is what it basically is. You're failure. How are you a failure? You never failed. I say. I look back on your life and say, I never failed. I got through every day of my life. I got through that. I faced all the negativity in the world, all those people that were horrible to me, all those things I got by without getting into a fight every time. I got by without breaking the law or trying to kill myself or getting into an argument. I got by even when I didn't have much money. There's so much success in your life. It's such a story. The success actually overrides the failure. It's more success in your life than failure, because even the failure itself is part of the journey of your efforts, or your naturally passing of each day, even when you didn't even realize you had efforts. It's choices, desires, the mind. It's the fact that you are actually alive. Life is a true success. It's a lucky, amazing thing. Can you imagine being dead, like a zombie walking around? Or can you imagine if you were dead? I mean, some zombies would be more successful doing more. No, I'm just saying, that's a joke, but some people are okay. Imagine if you were dead, man, you wouldn't be able to talk about failure either. Is a dead person a failure because they're dead? No. So if a dead person is not a failure, they're just dead, right? So you're saying a living person can be a failure more than a dead person can be? Come on now, let's be real. Come on now, have a laugh at me while you're doing it, because life's just a big joke. Sometimes the world's so crazy, you can only smile, can't you? Do some good. You want to tell other people you're a failure. You can do no good. These people have got nothing in them, you know. There's nothing in them. The drive that you've got in you, you know, excuse me, the drive, the passion you have in you to do certain things. Oh, my neck, I'm okay. That will remind you that you are not a failure. You never failed. You never failed because you always got by one way or another. And even if you didn't get all those things you wanted to get or accomplish or physical things or whatever it is, you are here and there's nothing else outside of you which actually matters. I'm not trying to give you an ego. I'm saying the truth is all the material things we have, all the people that we have around us, the place, whatever it is, that's outside of us. If you were born into another family and you never knew they were your parents for many years, you'd believe that was your family. If you were born in another part of the world and you're speaking that language, you'd believe you're from that country unless they told you any different. You know, if you never, you know what I mean, if you didn't have this thing, you'd still be alive, the money or whatever. So you're here, and you are not a failure because you have you. You are literally, this is everything you have. Your flesh, your blood, your mind, your body, bone. You are it. There's no failure there. You've got to. Don't be more of a failure. Don't act in a failure type way to yourself. Don't fail yourself in failing efforts. That's weak. Don't do negative things. Like you don't have to have bad habits and constantly take drugs and smoke and drink and be negative and hate the world and be violent and look down on your life and think you're a failure. Because the mind can make things seem things in such a way that even though it's an illusion, the good or the bad can be an illusion, but you give your mind such a thought, you can actually bring yourself into such depression and make yourself feel sick and ill. And if you do die, or if you're in bad health, that is more of a failure. Start feeling good about yourself. Look at the good you've done and what you've accomplished. You may have accomplished a lot more than some other people, even if they've got more money, better degrees, more friends, or whatever they've got that's more than you now. Those people may never have been able to cope the way you have in certain ways, and the way you've actually sustained yourself. Look at it. Look at what you've got going for you. You say, well, look at what he's got going for me, him. No, look at what you've got. And whatever you want to do and go, if it's a good thing, strive for it. Put effort into doing something good in this life. More good things because you've got one life. Do it for yourself. You're already a success. Be more of a success. Do more. You never failed. You never failed and you never will if you're positive and you're always trying to be positive. Not prove to others or let them see, but for yourself and enjoy something about life apart from just money and society and crap and trying to impress others and compare and competition and all that rubbish and be angry. No, be positive. Focus on some good stuff.